You know, the latest issue of Sports Illustrated has lots of people just scratching their heads, basically, you know. And wondering, you know.
A lot of people or just you?
Well, everyone in this world is
everyone is scratching their heads.
Despite what's going on here, you know, but
if you're not scratching your head, you're not part of everybody.
But it features superstar players who are united in protest, but the only difference is it doesn't feature the man who started this in the first place, which happens to be American football quarterback Colin Kaepernick. Question is, out of all people, why leave him out? Why leave him out of Sports Illustrated?
Because they don't want to give him the credit for starting things. Like, because the thing is, it was a single person that quickly became dismissed, but now they have entire teams doing it. So it's kind of harder to like dismiss an entire team.
Yeah, I think he was appeared since last year, 2016, I believe. Someone around that may have heard. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you that this country has not changed in terms of discrimination. The only difference is their methods. Now they're doing it in like, oh, he's kneeling during the national anthem, let's fire him. As opposed to 50 years ago, you would have been shot or lynched or whatever the case may be. So now they do it in more subtle ways, which are not so subtle because now everything's on TV and in the internet. So they're not including him because they simply don't want to give him the credit. They rather just deal with they rather backlash the entire teams that are fighting against what the national anthem, what it started for. Like, they're doing it in honor of him at this point too, because he's the one that started it. They just don't want to give him the credit. So
yeah,
I don't have much to say about it, but I think that he also like allowed this to happen to him too. Because I believe that when you're in a predicament, you really like somehow allow this, whether you are the victim or not. It's kind of like you are kind of responsible for it. You know, maybe you have to like be a little tougher. Maybe you didn't speak up when you should have. You know, maybe you could have been a little more like savage about it.
Yeah, let me just, I don't even know if I should read this, but this is really important here, and because it's like because his mother Colin Kaepernick's mother made a statement about why he was not in there, but this is what she said here. It's like, the guy in the White House, in her opinion, is first and foremost a narcissist. This is her words here. This Kaepernick's mother Teresa told Sports interviewer in it via email, and who was not speaking only for herself, and who was speaking only for herself but not for her son. This is what he said. He said he has a need for a constant attention and positive reinforcement. There is a reason he holds these rallies. He knows his base. His base will give him unconditional love and cheer for everything he says. He has gotten big applause in the past, insulting Colin and the protests. This time, when he went to the well, he continued to ramble and swear, challenging the entire NFL and its fans. And to me, I see this as not only just the NFL, but it's the entire sports team as well. In football, baseball, basketball, you name it, you know?
I just think, don't be a victim of the situation. Face the situation and be tough about it. You're never really a victim. You just let yourself, go.
Yeah, just call 1-800-VICTIM-2 if you want to get this guy in the White House out of office.
I think it's going to take too much.
I don't think that's a joke. actually, don't be a victim.
Well, the way he said it just made it.
Well, now the way you're smiling, I'm seeing that as a joke already.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm done with everything. I'm tired of all this. Like, I know we talk about it for the sake of conversation because that's what's going on, but
Yeah.
it's one of those times where, like, I had to say, I wish we would just, I wonder if shutting up about anything will help, because
Yeah.
the more attention we give to President Trump, the more I feel we'll see more of this. I mean, with Puerto Rico, that's a different scenario, because he just literally started throwing paper towels at everyone. Wow. And the thing is, he's attention seeking, and I
Yeah.
think that's why, I think at this point, I think that's why he does what he does.
Yeah.
The political stuff is always going to be there, but I think because of all that, I think that's why all this happens. I think that's why everyone's giving him too much attention. It's
Yeah.
like a high school bully that you haven't
Right.
learned to ignore.
Yeah. Are you even curious to find out what Steph Curry had to say about all this issue about the Sports Illustrated cover with Colin Kaepernick? Yeah, we have the clip ready for that here, so let's just take a look at it.
Just kind of capitalizing on the hoopla and the media and all that nonsense, and the real people that are understanding exactly what's been going on and who's really been active and vocal and truly making a difference. If you don't have Kaepernick front and center on that, then something's wrong. So it's kind of hard to see how certain narratives take place, being prisoners of the moment. So at the end of the day, that stuff really doesn't matter. It's about the true message and really highlighting the people that are doing the right things.
I'm sorry. He didn't like the idea of
Not having Colin Kaepernick on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
No, I don't. No, he should have. I mean,
Right.
even if they want to dismiss him, you might as well have the guy on the cover.
Yeah, might as
Like,
well.
look at the monster that started all this trouble. Like, even if it is, I'm like, have him on the cover. Why are you?
Yeah.
It's
But-
almost like also like they're not trying to give him any kind of like happiness.
Right.
Right.
Like we don't want to have whatever we can do to not let you be happy, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Right.
Besides, from all this that's going on in terms of the boycott, we have to put an end to this and just create peace. Because look, this fool that's in the White House needs to shut up for once. All right, he needs to shut up and straighten up and do his job and working for the American people and not go against anyone. All right, all right, because one day. I don't know how to put this.
I think, honestly, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like this is what it feels like. I know they talk about peaceful protesting, but I feel like maybe there should be a peaceful silent protesting.
Yeah.
Because when you think about his methods, they all sound like, as Dave Chappelle said once on a skit, high people ideas. The more you think about it, the more ridiculous it sounds. There are some where like it is kind of hard to sit back and say like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But then the thing is like the Republicans are passing half of these things. There are
Right.
some that they're not gonna do because the country's just not built like that. As racist as it is, they're not just gonna ban people from countries just because the guy says so. And he tried to push it 1,000 times and they're not doing it.
Right.
So, I think we need to find a way to do silent, peaceful protesting when he's coming up with nonsense, because let's be real. His ideas are ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're stupid.
Totally ridiculous.
So, maybe if we shut up, he might shut up, and maybe we'll actually get what we want. Now, if the Congress tries to do something, then you say something about it. When he's just coming up with ideas, I say leave him alone. Just bother him. Just don't pay mind to him. Because he feels like a high school bully that we haven't learned to ignore. They tell you to ignore them, and believe it or not, sometimes it works.
Yeah. And in the
When you attract attention to yourself, sometimes you get the better attention that way.
Yeah. And in the words of Dan Rather, he says that he's flaky as a pie crust and he's mean as a margay. And bless you.
Excuse me.
Right.
We're
Bless
gonna
you.
we're gonna give Stephanie a tissue, all right? And we'll be right back in just a moment, okay?